I'm an internet developer. I am a Bitcoin miner. Bitcoin is a decentralized cryptocurrency, basically a virtual form of money. Bitcoin is controlled by a software algorithm. In order to control the amount of Bitcoins that are released into the economy, the algorithm determines that there's only so many that are mined during a certain period of time. Currently, that is 25 Bitcoins are found about every 10 minutes or so. Those people that are mining contribute to the overall, computing power of the network. You're only going to get rewarded, in essence, whatever percentage of that power your computers are putting out. So those are the graphics cards right there. Those are what are doing all the work. Most miners are probably earning fractions of Bitcoins. Standard computer that you basically see any gamer having. I started mining in 2011, so I invested about $800 to build this computer. At the time when I put it online, I was probably mining, 1 Bitcoin a day, something like that. In essence, all you're doing is downloading software and running software that's running 24/7 that are accepting these mathematical problems, solving the mathematical problems, and sending the results back up to, to a server.
With this throwback video, this is showing you how far Bitcoin has come. This guy here was mining 1 Bitcoin per day. So Bitcoin is becoming more and more scarce. That does not happen when you go buy $800 worth of computer equipment today. Those days are over with. Keep stacking sats and get to that 1 coin. And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We're getting straight into it. Taking a look at the current price action. We're up to 84.8 at the current time this recording. We came up to almost $86,000. On some exchanges, we actually broke 86,000. What do we see? What do we anticipate? So the next level to pay attention to above is around the 87.6 to 88.5 range. This level up here, this is the previous swing high where we hit our head and fell down and put in a lower low. That's going to act as resistance. We broke through this white line, this downtrend, and right now the Gaussian channel midline is sort of almost in that area as well. So in the market open on Monday, will we see Bitcoin rally up, or will we come back down and retest this upwards trend line right here, which could take us back down to around the $84,000 range? Will Bitcoin see 84, flip this to resistance to support, have a continuation, or we fall lower to retest this lower around 82 before continuing up to the upside? You be the judge, but either way you cut the cloth, we have broken this downtrend. This is definitely bullish for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's looking bullish. And right here, Titans of Crypto's weighing in from the Bollinger Band indicator on the weekly chart. Every time we come down to this level right here where the green dots are, this is indicative of a bottom. So every single time, bottom, kind of triple bottom here, right here, look at another bottom, and we blast up towards the top part of the Bollinger Band and get that extension. Right now, the top of this Bollinger Band is around $110,000. So with an extension, we could get up to 150 to 200,000. We could be seeing this by the end of the year, but look at this right here. This bottomed around November of 22 and then peaked around about April of 24. So that's about a 5-month window as far as the rally went. And then from the bottom of August of 24, we then had a rally up to about March of 24. So you're looking at August to March, you're looking about a 7-month window here. And then the most recent rally here was started in September of 2024 and ended around December of 2024. So a few month rally. So how long will this next rally last? The next 2 months could be very bullish. And right here, if you don't understand this, owning 1 Bitcoin is more rare than being a millionaire today. It's even better than having a real estate portfolio when it comes to accumulating wealth. You can use real estate to have some type of passive income coming in. Now, there's an argument going around about the MSTY. Should you, have a small percentage of your portfolio into MSTY to get that return? British Hodl's making that argument. That's viable. That's a viable option. Will there be other vehicles to do so in the future? Most definitely. But The most important thing is before you start doing that, get to that 1 Bitcoin before it's too late. And right here, if you see this breaking news, the US White House considers using gold reserves to buy Bitcoin. They have a whole write-up here. A senior White House official has hinted at the possibility of the US utilizing its gold reserves to acquire more Bitcoin. We actually have a clip on this. Check out this bullish news.
And, I think one thing that's different about Bitcoin than gold is that, we continually seem to find more gold. We just do.
They've been talking about mining gold off of asteroids.
Correct. I mean, we know how much Bitcoin exists. It's just a question of how quickly it's going to be mined, right? And, at the end of the day, I think that we need to be just cognizant of the fact that there is that limited supply that's out there, the finite supply. And as a country, we need to also understand that there is just a strategic long-term interest in accumulating as much as we can and doing it quickly before it becomes more expensive. Because I think that's naturally on the horizon, just given the principles that undergird it.
And if you don't feel the bullishness after hearing that from a White House advisor, then you're probably going to miss the boat. And right here, speaking of the investing in real estate versus Bitcoin, look what's happened since 2012. You see that the median home price in the US in the year 2012 was an average cost of 50.6K Bitcoin. So over 50,000 Bitcoin. 4 years later, they got cut down to 700 Bitcoin. Then another 4 years later, you're talking about 46 Bitcoins. And then another 4 years later, you're talking about 5 Bitcoin. So this is over a 12-year window. What's the next 12 years going to bring? Should you buy a home right now? Should you invest in Bitcoin? Well, if this is indicative of what's happened in the future, this is going to go to under 1 Bitcoin, then to 0.1 Bitcoin, and to 0.01 Bitcoin. It's going to keep getting more and more scarce against real estate. Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race. And we'll leave you with this chart here. This is another indication showing that we're about to get some bullish momentum. The RSI, every time we see this bullish cross of the MACD, RSI putting in bullish divergences. Blast off comes shortly thereafter. Every single time, rinse, repeat. And checking out the chart, we've had the bullish divergence, RSI putting in a higher high, price action putting in a lower low. Right now, we're back up over 85,000, and then that blast off will come. Are you prepared for what is around the corner? Arthur Hayse is weighing in and leaving you with his take for 2025. You don't want to miss what he has to say.
He says tariffs are transitory. I know Bitcoin has done pretty poorly alongside the NASDAQ and the S&P and a lot of other global stock indices, but I think that's just investors not really appreciating that this is a fiat liquidity bonanza that's about to happen. I think Bitcoin will decouple from these and stock indices and trade alongside gold and really reflate higher as the money supply globally goes higher.